be an indie means we buck a system that doesn't want us. To be a fringe filmmaker means we don't do it for them. We do it for ourselves. To be an outlaw on the fringe means we'll die before we fail. Be an outlaw.
What? The Indie Brigade on a Thursday night? No, actually, it's a special edition of Romero Pictures Heavy Metal Indie Brigade presents. Well, we don't have a name for the show yet. So, anybody who wants to come up with a name for our new watch party that we're going to start doing weekly or every other week, shoot us a message. We greatly appreciate it. But what we're doing here tonight is we are going to watch Darkness Waits with the cast and crew on Twitch. So make sure you are logged into Twitch. You attach your Amazon account to Twitch, which everybody's having a blast doing right now. It's fun.
It's so fun.
But we are going to get this going. So
let's get connected.
Stephanie is going to be doing these shows, and we're just going to do the first couple together to get all the kinks out, like now. And
I'm all for the kinks. That's why I'm here.
Right? It's the first show crap. Everybody knows that. Libby, Matt, how you guys doing?
Great. How are you guys?
I am excellent. Matt, a little more enthusiasm. I am going to put you on the spot all night.
No, I'm concentrating on things.
No, see, that's my excuse.
He's making sure all the technical stuff's going on here, so I can stay in the moment.
Like I said, that's my excuse to multitask. You know what's real distracting? Let me show you what's really distracting. That's really distracting. But anyway, I love David. David's probably going to kill me for doing that, but it's promoting his new movie.
I was just going to say, it's good promotion.
He loves all the promotion.
So we got a cast and crew below. I am going to start bringing them up, and you guys start talking. We got Mr. Schiaffo. We got
there's our mayor,
Madison. We've got Miss Whitcomb. Where am I? There's Jim, and we have the writer, which we got wrong on our poster at first, and then you got that.
Joe, you made a horrible mistake. That wasn't a picture of me in my new movie. That was just me because they ran out of Dole Whip.
Dole Whip.
Yes.
You may have to explain to some people what that is.
I'm not sure I know what Dole Whip is, to be honest with you. Isn't that what Lance Wagner ODs on?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It's the pineapple whip. Whipped cream. So, Libby, since Matt is doing some technical stuff right now, why don't you start doing some intros and let people know who's here and what part they took in the movie, please?
All right. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for being a part of this and trying to bring us all together and have this platform to show the movie live for the first time. And I'm super excited. First, I want to introduce John Taylor, who wrote Dead Woman's Hollow and Darkness Waits. So without that universe, we wouldn't be here. And we love you. We never get to do interviews together, so this is so awesome.
This is.
Yeah.
We keep him hidden away. And next, I'll go right over to Jim Krut, and he's in our movie. He is known for the helicopter zombie.
And we have no idea what movie that's from.
No. Dawn of the Dead. The original.
Yeah. And we also have Scott Schiaffo, who is known for Clerks and Wits End. Super great friend, supporter in the indie world, who has supported us and walked us through many, many events. And next we have David Madison, who has brought so many connections and always supported and been my friend through this whole process, and I so much appreciate it.
The check's in the mail, Libby.
And we have Emily Whitcomb, who is one of my bright, shiny stars. And she will take you through the movie, and you will fall in love with her face and her energy and everything.
Oh,
Yeah, this was her first movie, I think, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Nice. And Libby's a natural.
yeah. Libby, introduce yourself though. Talk about it.
Oh, I'm Libby, the director, Libby McDermott. I wouldn't have done it without everybody else, though, that's around me. I feel like it was something that I wanted to try, and the people around me said, you can do it, and we've chipped away at it for a decade or so now. So, and here we all are.
And who's the guy to
Not
your
all
right?
of us, but some.
Yeah,
Matt Stahley,
Yep.
right-hand man here.
Cinematographer, editor. I pretty much
It's Libmatic Films.
did everything.
It's a little bit of Libby, a lot of Matt. Put it all together, stir it up.
Very, very cool. So I'm curious, how many people are logged in and connected their Amazon account to Twitch?
We think we have. I'm not positive.
Fair enough. I hear somebody's playing something. Oh, wait, you know what? That's probably me. Let me hit that mute button.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah, see this.
I thought it was my bugs.
All right. Yeah, that would probably help immensely. All right. So I'm looking at Twitch right now, and everybody looks great on there. Mr. Schiaffo, are you able to see it on Twitch now?
I can. There's a delay.
Yeah, I get a delay too.
Yeah, there's going to be.
Okay, cool.
All right. So you guys want to give this a go?
Let's try it.
So without any further ado.
Oh, don't even get that close yet. We're not even remotely
Okay.
Oh, okay.
We need some further ado.
This is when I'm going to do one of these things. Take over, Steph.
What? No, don't do that to me.
Ah!
Oh my gosh.
You
All
can
right,
do
so
it.
when was the last time you guys got to hang out? Like, was it, was it rap? Was it a
Definitely
festival? Was it-
BC. Well, yeah.
How long have you done that?
Actually, we all got together in February at a signing that me and actually Scott was not at that, but me, Libby, Matt, and Brian O'Halloran got together in
Yeah, thank
Wilkes-Barre
goodness.
right before the COVID struck. Actually,
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
And it was
And
great to see
Emily,
them.
we got to have dinner right before, or lunch. You drug us
Yes.
to lunch. Thank goodness. That's the last time we've left the house.
Yeah.
I know we've all been just,
Besides to the mountains.
we keep saying soon, and when is soon? Like nobody ever knows. So I guess we'll see. But I'm glad that we have the opportunity to do virtual hangouts.
Hmm
I mean,
Yeah.
it's better than nothing. I'll take it.
Well, I was kind of used to this. I honestly have lived far away from my family, and my nieces and nephews know me as like BB in the box. So I'm pretty much used to living.
It's totally awesome to be hanging out with your friends and like literally have no pants on.
Oh, David.
So,
Right. Hey,
I knew you would do that.
well,
pants.
on this screen right now, there is somebody so incredibly beautiful, and I decided I didn't want to have pants on. But don't be shy, Scott. You know how I feel about you.
Damn it, I thought it was me.
You brought yourself back on.
Joe's teapot.
I will say one thing. Everyone that is here, we're at we did a premiere and another screening at our local theater in town. And everyone that's here was there at least one time.
Right on.
But it's kind of cool that we didn't really get to like watch. We were in the theater with them, but we didn't really get to talk to any of you guys, maybe for a little bit after this movie ended, but it's cool to be able to watch it with everyone now, like be able to talk to them. So
now we get to hear what you really think.
Yeah.
I'm just excited.
Tell us
to
how
hear
bad you really think it is.
What John's voice actually sounds like, because I don't think we heard 2 words from him.
He's just writing things down.
Yeah.
He's the writer.
Working on the next script.
All right, I am going to hit the play button, and we are going to wish or hope for the best.
Yeah.
For those of you that weren't here pre-show, once I hit play, the movie will not stop. It will not pause. We cannot rewind. So you may want to hit the mute button on your mic. I don't know if everybody can see the mute button on their picture or their mic button on the picture. Hit that and then unmute it anytime you want to talk. Not sure if we're going to get any echoing at all. Again, this is all new. So this is the first time we're doing this. So fingers crossed. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to hit start and see what happens.
Somebody tell me when it starts, baby.
And it's loading. Loading. Wow, it loads up as slow as my old 286. Wow, one person got that joke. That's awesome.
That's one more than you usually get.
Right? So I'm assuming it's playing right now. It's 16 seconds in. Let's see. Do I open it in a new tab?
We're logging in right now.
Mr. Schiaffo, do you see anything? Anybody in the audience?
I got a login. I'm getting a login to sign up.
Anybody in the audience see the movie playing?
I have a thing that says start watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saying it's not playing yet.
I got a countdown and now it's going to play.
Okay.
Yeah, now we got a 4, 3, 2.
John, did you get it?
No.
Shoot.
Is it playing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it say? Is it the not rated part?
It's the girls in the van.
I paused
Went
mine.
straight to it.
Let's see. Still a better. Mine says watch parties are not supported by your browser. Okay. Nope. Stephanie, you're able to see it on your computer.
Here, watch. Hold on.
What about John? What's going on with yours?
Well, this is about as far as I could get everything together. So I
Is that illegal, though? I mean, did I just do something illegal? I hope not.
No.
Playing by me.
So
I wonder if we could just have a camera on the.
So everybody that is out in the audience, this is only going to work on Twitch, our Twitch channel, and only if you attached your Amazon account to it. JD Smith, Digi Artist is saying.
Yay, it says Emily Whitcomb on the screen. Jenny Janetti, yay!
Oh, I forgot to say banana.
Yeah, how off am I?
It's 2 minutes, 32 seconds into
But we
it.
could all be seeing different delays.
Hey, John.
Yeah, I can pause
Do you
it.
have easy access to Facebook Messenger
Now I see
on
it.
your computer?
yeah, on my phone.
On mine, I had to hit
All right, hold
open in
on.
a new browser, and now
Yay, it says David Lee Madison, yay!
no, it's with Conrad Brooks as Mr. Brooks. That's where it's at right now in the credits.
Yeah.
What minute mark is that, guys? Do you know?
3 minutes, 7 seconds. Girl is laying in the river. Girl is taking off shirt.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I am going to be distracted for a few minutes. Banana.
I'm trying to.
I'm at 3:36. I'm not off by that much.
No.
No.
Stop telling secrets!
Let's see. Click to unmute. Okay. Now now everybody can probably hear us as well. Everybody in Twitch land.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, that would have been a smart thing to have, like the screen on StreamYard, one of us playing it.
That you can't
Wow.
because then it's copyright infringement. Yeah,
That's
go
like
figure.
you're broadcasting a movie.
Jim, did you get in?
No, bro. He was in freaking our digital design class. He was just sweating since it was super hot. And I'm like, dude.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
I sent you an
Yeah, it's working for me.
I sent you an email with a Vimeo link
Okay.
and a code to
Okay.
put in. If you just hit buy or rent and put in that code, you should be able to play it, and we can get you kind of close to where it's at.
All right.
No, he stole two.
All right. So I'll go. Should we start talking about the movie?
It just said John Taylor on the screen. Am I close?
I wasn't paying attention. So I am curious, everybody in Twitch, can you hear us over the movie?
Yes, you're really close, David, because it just
Yeah.
said John Taylor here.
Like 5:13, I'm at.
Yeah, this is at
This
5
is
You're
right
about
now.
10 seconds faster than me.
Directed by Libby McDermott.
Never heard of her.
So
You should try to have her on.
just to talk about this in beginning for a little bit. Shout out to our composer Kevin Yost, who has just been nominated for a Grammy for a remix that he did, which is huge. He's local. He's been a house music pioneer and DJ for probably 30 years. So it's really awesome that he could win a Grammy for some stuff that he did. And our male lead, Waylon, was the songwriter and vocalist on that song we just heard.
Oh, that should have been an Instagram.
How's the volume on the movie? Not that we.
Guys out in Twitch land, how is the volume on the movie?
Oh, bro, okay. I
Can you hear it when we're not speaking?
I'm watching
Yeah, I
from
respect
Twitch
that.
as well.
You got the guns for a
Yeah.
picture.
They're saying it's fine. I think they can control the volume.
Okay.
Is the movie on the crime scene photos right now?
Yes. It's at 6 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah, that's what mine is too.
So
Emily, what'd you think of the scene whenever you first saw it? Because I know you worked on, this scene probably pretty early. I think it was probably one of the first things we shot, especially with the other cast members.
Uh-oh, did she freeze?
Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
hear
there
me?
she is.
In YT, bro. You got a picture of your real good.
Did the same figure in all of the pictures. Most photos go
Frozen.
to a more specific
Hearing sound from someone else.
Hollow Road and
You know, as for the volume, I have mine at max on the Twitch, and it does seem a bit low compared to the audio that we have in our conversations here. I hope it's good for
Can you hear
everybody else.
me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Sorry, the internet hates me.
Alex, what would you do to bring John back to life?
until we get what we need. All weekend.
Does someone have? I can hear the audio from the movie through somebody else.
Yeah.
I do know that John Taylor's voice is in the background of this. Voiceover.
So basically the three guys on the couch here and Emily, this is the first movie that they've ever done, and the three guys have never even acted before, which was kind of cool. They just really wanted to do it, and we were like, let's do it. We met Emily. Actually, I worked with her dad for a long time, and we met her at one of our old jobs doing school photography.
Yeah.
And we saw her in a couple of the school productions, and then realized who she was. So we reached out to her to be if she wanted to be in it, and she was super excited.
For all these years.
And Jenny Janetti, who you see right now, she's been in a lot of independent movies in the tri-state area. I'm sure you can check her out on IMDb.
And I just have to make a quick announcement. Anybody that is on Facebook or YouTube, I am shutting those streams down since you guys cannot. Or do you guys think I should keep it up and just let everybody talk? What say you?
Well, are they chatting?
It's mainly just Twitch, it looks like. I don't think anybody in Facebook.
Oh, sorry, I'm so distracted right now.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, no, I'm just, wow. Okay, what?
All right. I'm going to just keep talking about the movie.
Go for
Nice drone shot.
Thank you. This is the town we actually live in, and this is the actual borough hall. This movie was basically made on a lot of favors and just a lot of connections. We reached out to the borough manager, who we know through some good friends, and he agreed to just give us a few hours in there, which is really cool. I don't know if most borough managers would allow this to take place. But, we know through some.
We did ask him for a couple years.
Yeah.
I seem to ask people over and over again, can I use your place?
Well, you got to plant the seed.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hey, I was thinking about this one thing, and then it's already there. And then when you do need to ask, they already remember.
This is Waylon Smith. He played the deputy in Dead Woman's Hollow, and of course, great Scott Schiaffo and David Madison.
You know, it's funny. Neither Scott or I have makeup on, but we look like we are doing a Clairol commercial. It's kind of horrifying. That's what happens when you put on your facial hair with shoe polish, like Scott and I do. Now that gentleman to Mr.
Jeff Leinbach there, who came in on the crutches, has done a lot of theater as well in the area with Chambersburg Community Theater, Gettysburg Stage, and I know he was thrilled to be a part of this film too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff's a big supporter. The crutches thing was perfect because he showed up on crutches, and I was just like,
he had to have help. Like, he was seriously hurt, but I was like, that's production value.
That's kind of my yeah. I had to just put him in there, walking in on the crutches.
And not only that, the helper that he brought, Sid Toker, was amazing, and as well as a reporter in the end scene that we get with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so like that happening was like, I hate to say it, but a blessing. And then Dan Miller is also in this scene, who is definitely one of the first people that gave me the ability to, he just made me know that I could do this. Like, he, you know, I told everybody about my dreams for years and years and years. And whenever you start making a movie, I don't know, like, he made sure we ate. You know what I mean? Like, he would just check on us every few months and just be like, are you guys okay? You know, and we were, and we're just, it did take us 3 years to make the first movie and 5 years to make the second. I don't want things to take that long, but it just did, you know, life just got in our way. But from that, everything happened the way it happened, and everything came together the way that it came together. And I love every second of it. And I love that I've loved you all through this.
I tell you, in this particular scene, I think Scott Schiaffo has a Al Pacino kind of vibe, but without all that talent baggage.
You're cold, man. You're cold.
But that mustache, man, the mustache.
Actually, Scott knows I love him, and I think he's an incredible actor, and I think he really, really brought something to this scene. He has a lot of depth, and he has to deal with it. He has to deal with a hack like me next to him.
He runs this scene. And I love it.
First thing tomorrow morning.
We're
He
getting
runs
hit by
his
spam.
he runs this town.
He does.
Don't you forget it.
I'm just his lackey.
Exactly. You're pushing around the papers. And Dan Miller, love you.
A funny story, Libby. Somebody who is a friend of Scott's and Brian's actually just watched this movie and thought that I was Brian in the movie.
Huh.
So what do you say?
Your sweater vest, apparently.
Wait.
Here, filter tank. I'll even help you through.
And guess what? We never battle again. So I guess I take the trophy.
Just not go. I have to pass this course or I can't play next fall.
My OB button being weird.
Funny story here is you'll notice a Harley in the background.
Just had a punch.
This location, we knew a guy who bought an old bar that was that had been closed down for a long time, and he just bought the bar and he uses it to have his own parties. And what better place to shoot, because we had access to whatever we needed. But some guy that was there brought this Harley, and he was like, "Can you guys put this Harley in the background?" And I'm just like, "All right, sure."
Absolutely.
I mean,
Why not?
I was like, "You might not see much of it, but it'll be sitting back there."
So that place looks familiar. By any chance, is that where Ernie shot his short also?
No.
Not that we know of. You know, it's a small one. But
Yeah.
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
It just looked familiar. The wood paneling and.
It's pretty tucked away in the mountains.
The legend has it is if you turn around in this parking lot, that you could get guns drawn on you.
Spicy.
Matt Leslie in the red shirt, he and I had worked in another film together that he put together called Baloo. And on my website, there's a link to it. It's a 20-minute short, bank robbery, supernatural, if you can imagine that combination. Also a martial artist. So it's an interesting combination of all the talents that each individual here, brings on screen. All the backstories. It's fascinating.
All the other phones. Turn them off. No interruption for audio recording.
Yeah, we got to work with Matt several days. And he usually had to drive pretty far from where he was coming from. He is always like right on A game, man. Love him. It helps with everything. From behind the scenes, like he just jumps it right in.
Stand where we tell you to. We get the
He's a good guy.
We're out of there.
He's a and a filmmaker too. So you get that advantage having him, and all of his experience comes with it too. And I mean, sometimes with what we do, just getting there, getting everybody together, you don't know really what's going to happen once you get there. So just having people around you that that will just get it done with you, man, it makes all the difference in the world. And I know I've fallen on all you guys for that.
So I think technically this may have been the first scene that these guys ever even met, and the first time they even acted on camera, or even just acted in general.
Yeah. Dustin.
So this is still the Borough Hall, but our local town police station is in here as well. Again, another favor, we called up the police station and asked if they had an old cruiser that they could park out front and we could pop the hood on, and they were just like,
What time?
No problem. That's just for anyone who's considering trying to make a movie and you don't have money, it doesn't hurt to just call people and ask. You never know. I think maybe more so in smaller towns, they might be more likely to cooperate with you. Yeah, so like I said, we asked a lot of favors in this, and they pretty much all came through. I think we got John set up to where he can see it, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. Emily hasn't said much.
Are you back on, Emily? Did you try something new?
They like art.
So
From my Siri to Firefox, Google Chrome. Google Chrome seems to be working the best.
yeah.
My adventure for today.
So just to elaborate on this scene a little bit, we couldn't guarantee that we could get an actual police car to use throughout the movie. So we asked John for some ideas, and we were just like, can you come up with something? And he basically wrote in about the budget, if I recall this correctly, in that the sheriff, since there was only 2 cars and they were both in the garage, he would have to use his personal car with a light bar. So
excellent.
And we really tried to edit this at the end, vegan, gluten-free, but we couldn't get it to match.
Another local business.
Oh wait, I just want to say one thing right here. This was just an idea that I had that I wanted to do, and I was just like, I just want him walking in this place. So it was just, there's a few things in this movie where I thought about things for like 6 months. Like, I just really want to do this with these people, and it's gonna show something. So, and my friends helped me make it. Another local business, though.
Yeah, again, it's that cooperation you have with the folks in the town and the nearby area, because I think they sense your passion in doing it, and they want to be part of that excitement. I just think that's terrific. And I think it was mentioned too that you just sort of step into the scene there earlier, Libby, and we just sort of take it for granted that you're going to be great in whatever you do. You know, stepping into the scene, it's like you've been there all your life.
I will tell you what I'm most attracted about to this particular film is that Matt and Libby have a very stylistic approach. And what really, really makes this film work is that it has a wonderful David Lynch-esque quality to it. It's dark and brooding and moody, and it's very persistently paced. It's just, you guys did a wonderful job.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
I don't set out to do that, but it could just be from watching the entire Twin Peaks series like over and over. So probably it's just mental.
You come by it honest.
Hey.
Libby, how you were saying that you saw a scene in your head and it needed to be this. It's exactly this. And this is the way you saw it. And that's what you did. You know what I'm saying? And as a director, you have the arduous task to take words from a page and visualize that in a way that not just you are seeing it, but other people can see your perspective. And I think you hit that. Like when he's going through the thrift store, you know, I'm with him, you know, and I keep winning for it. I've watched it 3 times now, and this is my 4th time, but I'm still watching it like it's the first because I really enjoyed it. So, I mean, you'll see me react to the movie off and on, but anyway.
I will, but it is the words. I mean, I do treat John scripts like a Bible, man. Like, I go through it and I try to pick out all the stuff that I think is relevant to the time.
Yeah,
right, but, I mean, You
I mean,
do it through a lens of understanding already, though, because you're not just looking at the page and going, okay, I need to make this into, you know, to be honest with you, I thought you wrote it as well. So if that tells you anything. So like I could see that it was just as much your story that you were telling through pictures that he told through words on a page. Like it was like this.
Well, Matt, I do think Matt's my eye, so.
And it helps that it's written really well.
Yeah.
And
There's no quick deploy.
there was a lot of stuff that just for the sake of trimming the movie down that we wish we could have kept in.
Yeah.
But we kind of with Dead Woman's Hollow, I feel like it was too long. You know, like the length runtime of the movie, I was kind of like, now that when I watch it, I'm like, man, I can edit this. And we wanted to keep this tight, but have the story be told. And yeah. But, you know, if the story and the script are good, it's a lot easier to put visuals to it. And a lot of times,
this is 30-mile-an-hour winds. I don't know if you guys can see that in the background, but I want to point that out because that's hard to shoot in. Just FYI.
And this was our only scene that we had to ADR these two guys.
Emily, do you remember this? 30-mile-an-hour winds. Do you remember that sign falling off? Oh my gosh, you guys walk faster.
So now there is a real Dead Woman's Hollow Road, but it's probably about a 45-minute drive. And we were on
time
crunches, so we basically remade the sign and stuck it to a tree. Not permanently.
Yeah, no, just blue sticky. We're all about the environment.
And I don't know if I mentioned, but 90% of this movie was shot in the Waynesboro, Pennsylvania area, which is south central.
That's the thing. I don't
close to Gettysburg and the Maryland border. The Appalachian Trail runs right through our town. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we're like the halfway point, so kind of, you know, it's kind of a famous point. Well, because of Dead
cutting. Sorry, go ahead. I was just going to ask, was there anything that you guys did have to cut that you really wish you could have kept in?
Well, Alex got the most kills, so here we go.
Not really. Now we didn't really get to talk about the.
I was trying to raise my hand.
The very beginning opening credit scene. John had written an awesome, I don't even know how many pages it was, and it was dialogue. These hippie kids were driving in the van. We honestly, when it came down to it, it was really hard to even get it cast, not to mention cast actors. And if anyone that has made a movie, I think car dialogue can be one of the most difficult things to shoot. Especially on a very low budget. And we would have loved to have shot that because it was just classic material.
Yeah, it could be a short.
We just couldn't put it together and we just had to come up with something different.
That's cool.
That kind of told the story that he was telling, but just without any dialogue. And, you know, it worked out. And even that scene, we casted very last minute. We were having issues getting girls to do it.
9:23 p.m. when we start at a 5:00 a.m. call time. Yeah, still working out the cast. But there were some drone shots that I specifically shot that I had in mind from when I started shooting this in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I did cut out a bunch of that. I thought the movie was going to open completely different in my mind. And then when it got down to the editing, I was like, this just doesn't fit. It's not right, you know, and it was beautiful footage. And there was a whole reason for the dream, the vision of it was the whole reason for getting a drone to begin with. So I was just like, I want this shot. I want this opening shot. You know, we're getting a drone. He starts a whole company with the drone. to be able to do that with a movie. And, you know, it's like, then I cut that out. Like, it would be good bonus material, maybe.
There you go.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go pee. You're gonna have to get that.
This was another scene that I just wanted to do. I wanted my dad in my movie. I wanted to work with him. He is one of the reasons why I think I am the way I am. A little bit crazy, but a lot of love. So yeah, I got my dad in my movie and I love it. And I love him. And he just wanted to be this crazy man on the woods.
That is awesome.
That's my daddy.
And that was a real rattlesnake rattle.
Yeah.
Uh,
And he was really missing some front teeth. So he wanted me to capture that before he got them fixed.
Right on.
Hey,
Libby
Matt,
and
can you tell us?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say, while you're out there on the Appalachian Trail and in the woods and public areas, did you have any run-ins with anybody else while you were trying to shoot?
Yeah. Yeah. Some people would pass by, but they would just be like, you know, you guys okay? One time we were trying to get a shot with the blood. We try to stick to private areas that we do know, because we are woods, like what I do in my regular life, I guess you could say. I'm a forager, I mushroom hunt. Like, I just love, if I can get to the woods, I'm there.
I will say that the little sex scene there was filmed on private property.
Yeah.
It's actually
Emily's
parents' land.
We used a ton of Emily's parents' land.
Matt, can you tell us a little bit about what lenses you use? Because this seems to have a really wide, scope. It seems very wide, like a widescreen type of film.
Well, I think I shot the majority of it on to get technical, it was a Canon 17 to 55 millimeter 2.8. And I probably stayed in
Anthony's here.
Oh.
I think Anthony's here.
I definitely stayed in that range, 17 millimeter to 55 millimeter. And then I basically shot it framed for the wide screen with guidelines on my monitor, and edited it in, I think it ended up being 1920 by 800. So I actually edit in the widescreen crop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So technically you don't have to add the letterbox. But yeah, I rarely, I think, went over 55 millimeters focal length. Yeah, it's a still photography lens. It wasn't a actual cine lens, but it's pretty versatile to get that range from a single lens, from really wide to medium. You know, and then I think there was a couple times where I used a 24 to 105 millimeter Canon, but that was just for a very few scenes. But yeah, I rarely even went over like a 35 millimeter focal length. I just like wider. I like using real locations because we couldn't afford to build sets or even have a place to build sets. I do like to have more of the whole scene in the picture rather than just like strict, like, you know, close-ups. You know, like most modern day TV now is just like a close-up establishing shot. I don't know. I just like the wider focal lengths. Probably mainly, yeah. Does that answer your question?
No, it does.
Yeah. I do have some vintage prime lenses, but I did not use them for this. Mainly this was all run and gun. I call it like more documentary style. Just because we're out in the woods, a lot of the times we had to get so many pages done in the time that we had. So the setups had to be quick, and to not have to change lenses was a big plus. Plus it was a fast lens at 2.8, allowed me to shoot in low light and all that stuff. Yeah, it works out well.
Matt and I worked on this effect together. Actually, YouTube.
Yeah, if you mix gelatin and
Food coloring
and glycerin together, you can make a rubber texture. And it gets so hard, like that knife could barely cut through it. It's crazy. But we made a clay mold of sculpted a tongue and just filled it with that mixture, and worked out well. John, you got anything to add?
Nope.
I know this is like John's favorite scene, I think. And what's funny is, so this is supposed to be a college project, a ghost hunting show that they're making. And for the younger people out there, they might not even know what Soul Train is. But we based it off Soul Train and Soul Hunters.
which I think would be a great show, actually.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
So maybe go back over your line. And weren't you supposed to come in with a REM pod?
And this scene.
Well, the creative environment.
So in Dead Woman's Hollow, all of the night scenes, I tried to do day for night, which I will never do again. Anything that happens at night, I'm always going to shoot it at night from now on. But
Never say never.
I will say that we lit this entire scene with just like flashlights. Basically flashlights. I think we might have had a couple battery powered like camping lanterns. So, and it actually turned out pretty cool, I thought. Yes, I would have loved to put up a huge 10K light to make it look like the moon, but
I love the way it looks, and I love every second of this.
I thought you said you only wear underwear when you know you're going to take them off.
This is when Emily is like the most like me, probably. I feel her here.
It's a REM pod, REM. It measures changes in electromagnetic fields.
So I made this REM pod out of a cardboard tube and put an LED light on top, and then I printed out the actual REM pod brand graphic.
Should we be telling them this? Are we going to get copyright?
I'm just saying.
I have to answer Peter real
Yeah,
fast.
sorry, I'm not paying attention to the.
No, that's okay. Unfortunately, Peter, this is only available on Twitch right now, so we can't broadcast it to Facebook or YouTube. If you have Twitch and you could connect your Amazon account, go there or go to Amazon Prime and start watching the movie. We'll tell you at what point we're at.
You only care if you get stolen by me.
What the fuck? Seriously? We're
Spare me, Ryan. We all know why you need to pack. It has nothing to do with baseball.
Keep telling them secrets.
Ryan, if he doesn't pass the class.
I'd say the hardest part about this scene was trying to set up that tent. That tent is actually Jim Krut's tent. Jim Krut's tent, and man, it took like 5 of us to try and figure out how to set that thing up.
And Jim, I think I still have your tent stakes, by the way. I know I do.
You're welcome to them. You're certainly welcome. It's classic. Someday it's going to be worth a lot of money because screen used.
Look at that. Look at that pop of blue in the background there. Love it. Yeah. We also had a firekeeper that night. That was so awesome. I don't know what we would have done without him. Ben really helped out.
So luckily I still own the very first digital camera I ever bought, and it has night shot. So
I love how that.
And I kind of look at this because in this area, Blair Witch was made probably about 45 minutes from here. And anytime anyone asks us about, they always say, "Oh, is it going to be like Blair Witch?"
Yeah.
And I kind of think the whole ghost hunting thing is kind of just like I mean,
like
yeah, but it's funny to me just because I was like, well, you know, it's not really like a found footage movie, but everyone always just compares any local movies to Blair Witch.
It's like you guys get stereotyped in just because of your region.
That turned out so good.
Oh, I did 502.
You know, watching this movie reminds me of actually being out and shooting it. And funny story, I bought an awesome hat while I was out there. That made me very excited.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Everybody makes fun of me because it's like too small for my giant, ginormous head.
Talk about this effect, if you would, please.
Actually, Libby made this effect. It would.
I mean, I did purchase the application. I did go to school for theater, so I do know a little bit about some applications, stuff like that. So, yeah, I was able to put that on and make it look. I thought we sold it. So, and I love the fall with it. The way that the camera came up, we couldn't have planned any of that. That's really how we, how it literally fell together,
Right on.
So, the camera,
the money
got
shot.
That shot. Yeah. And this is another effect with like digital that I love that we got. A little blood drip down.
So if you haven't seen the prequel to this movie that this is a spinoff of, Charles Dawson, the actor, he was the actual sheriff in the first movie, and we don't show it, but the whole reason Buck becomes sheriff in this is because he beat someone with that bat at the end of our movie, hence the bat and everything. And he's convinced that there still is a real killer out there where people are not believing him.
What are you doing, Jim?
So we
understand. 43-17. Sorry.
Oh, you're great.
A
Thank
friend-
you all for joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a part of this.
A friend of mine owns a tattoo shop, and we just thought it, even though it's only in it for a second, we just thought about how funny it would be if he had a really terrible tattoo of his name with a deer, and The guy actually did it with Sharpies, and it turned out awesome.
Ah, there's that wonderful light.
Now this
What are we doing here, Jay?
is my cousin's house. He's into taxidermy, obviously, and I mean, I don't even know how you could get you can't just get a location like this. People would, and it was just funny.
It gives you that Bernard Hughes in The Lost Boys feeling.
Yes, it does. Whose beautiful dog?
So that's another friend of ours. That dog's no longer with us, but it's not actual wolf. It's a Malamute, but the thing is huge, and we knew if we
And worse yet, Jesse got loose.
there is a wolf.
Written.
It was written for a wolf. I think I may have tried to contact. There is a wolf rescue not too far from here, hour or two, and I think I tried to contact them, but they don't really allow. Like, you can take tours of their place, but to actually have a wolf in there, it just didn't work out.
Matt, I love the way you say wolf. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Oh,
It sounds like what a dog says, like woof, woof.
Yeah.
I tried to get a woof.
Well, it's that, I don't know. We just have weird accents here, I think.
Let that L roll. Wolf.
Wolf. Wolf.
There is a South Central Pennsylvania thing.
David, nobody has an accent until they leave town.
Absolutely. That's why I'm making a werewolf picture.
Unless you're me, then it's just boomhauer all the time.
Well, I don't know. We just have weird accents here, I think.
Let that L roll. Wolf.
Wolf. Well, I just heard like everything I just said again.
Yeah. There is a South Central Pennsylvania thing. Oh no. I can never watch this.
So this is the only part of the movie that really wasn't filmed in Pennsylvania. This is the great legendary Conrad Brooks. He was living in West Virginia. This is his house. He had taken a fall sometime before this, and he was basically bedridden. But the cool story is we met him at a convention years ago, and he would call Libby like maybe once or twice a month. And then he was always just like,
Put me in your movie.
Yeah, put me in your movie. If you make another one, I want to be in it. And this originally wasn't written in the script, I don't think. Was it, John?
No, not like this.
Yeah.
And then
I couldn't figure out how to get him in. I honestly thought that he would be in the scene with you guys, David and Scott, and he would be more where Jeff Leinbach was. But by the time we shot that thing, he wasn't doing very good. And there was no way he was going to leave his house. And so I just kept thinking, how are we going to get him? And I talked to David, and David gave me some good advice. And, actors like to act is what David told me. And I was like, you're right. They do. So we got him, and we all hung out, and we gave him his lines, and he had a great time, and we all had a great time, and we loved working with him, and it was amazing.
Yeah, this is 100% real. When we got there, this is what it was. We didn't say we need you in this situation. And for those who don't know, if you don't know Conrad Brooks, he was in the original Plan 9 from Outer Space, and he's done a ton of independent films, lots of low budget films. He was in Ed Wood, the movie.
He was actually a disciple of Ed Wood's and was in a lot of Ed Wood's movies.
Yeah.
I think he said he was in most every one of them.
Yes.
And
So,
I
I
think
mean,
And in
The
the
legacy-
movie, he was the bartender.
Yeah.
I mean, he brings a rich legacy of horror royalty to this film, and the fact that we got him and Libby and Matt got him is just unbelievable because it's actually his very last movie.
Yeah, his very last on-screen performance, and I think he had so much fun just doing it.
We definitely did.
And he sadly passed away before he actually got to see the movie, so that's kind of sad. But
His daughter thinks he would love it. Yeah.
This tree, I think Emily was probably the only person that could squeeze in there.
Thank goodness, because I love it. Remember, I brought that broom and I swept it out for you. I said, "Will you get in there?" And she is frozen. And she said, "Yep."
I don't think I'd be crawling into a tree even if you brushed it out.
Right? She's fearless, this girl. Fearless.
You saw that snake in that earlier scene, right?
It was probably on her property.
What? How did I even do that?
John Ketteman, the killer. I actually did try to get our original killer back for this movie, but it didn't work out with timing and shooting. And because of that, we plowed through so many days of shooting with just the kids with no killer. It took me 2 more years to figure out how to get the killer. And then so we went back and shot things with the killer after we already had everything pretty much done with the kids.
It was so awesome that Cousin It was actually free to shoot this for you.
Yeah, that is real hair and real beard. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for a really long time.
How did he get away from ZZ Top to shoot this?
Yeah.
Is that Hello Kitty tattoo real?
Yes, all of her tattoos are real.
There is a stand-in used here. So there's like a stand-in and a couple of years difference of shooting here. You continuity people want to start picking stuff out. But I think it came together beautiful.
Jim, I think you've been in some movies with Jenny, right?
I'm trying to think. Well, we did Bigfoot.
Yeah.
She was in Bigfoot, and trying to think what else we might have done together. But I've known Jenny for a long time.
Yeah.
She's a fun gal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Kellen Williams here, he was actually a local high school football phenom, and I'm never hardly around athletes. And
thanks.
And when I asked him to run, it was just like I'd never seen anyone be able to just watch
this.
Yeah.
He did that twice, at least, maybe 3
I'm
times.
like, oh,
on a slide, I'm like,
this kid can run fast.
Yeah.
Now, this whole sequence was probably our most difficult thing.
We did walk away with a ticket here too.
I would not suggest this, but we pretty much, we did guerrilla this whole thing. This is a local water reservoir that actually supplies water to the county. You are allowed to kayak and stuff on it, but we just went there and shot.
Yeah. Kevin Yost right there. There's our composer and his nephew, Trenton Green.
But you'll see some actual boat shots later, and he ended up getting a ticket because his boat was only registered in Maryland and not Pennsylvania.
Wow.
That's when the real waterways patrolmen were out, right?
Yeah.
Rather than us fake guys.
This is Todd Chamberlain, who is also another filmmaker in the area, and who came up with tons of great realistic props, especially for this scene with the dog and the canine thing. He had a magnet on the side of his truck. Like, he got into his character. I was like, I want to shoot it all.
And the web belts and the weapons, things like that.
Yeah, and he also did gun safety on our set, which was requested, and which I had. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I wanted, that to be done. So, he came to many shoots where he wasn't even, part of the cast. He would just made sure everything was right. He's a retired vet too, so he knows everything about guns. And I felt my whole cast felt safe, so everything went through him. I was glad it was done professionally.
We attempted to get a local dog, like a rescue dog organization for these scenes, and they turned us down. But it ended up, I would rather these dogs are just so much. It's just so much funnier to see these dogs than the German Shepherds or whatever they'd be using, the hound dogs.
And Butterbean.
Yeah. Butterbean, this little dog, is kind of a little local legend.
So, Jim, here you are with us in your scene. I don't know if you remember this scene. You had just got your gallbladder out. Do you remember this scene?
Oh, yeah.
I made you work like 10 hours after you got your gallbladder out.
Hey, when you're on camera, you just keep on going. If you fall over, did you get that shot?
Yeah. You tell me you were rolling. That's production value.
I didn't do that just to get in character either.
You powered through, man. What did you think of this ensemble as you jumped in? Jim?
It was kind of fun figuring out what was going on. I figured I was one of the group when we were all wearing the same kind of outfits. I thought, oh, that's cool. We got us a posse now,
I'll tell a little cool story.
I was surprised too by the resources you brought. As you'll see here later, ambulances and the people who came out. Again, the work you did locally just to bring in people who had those materials, resources.
Yeah, most of the posse that we had shown there that you guys were talking to, quite a few of them, we did hold some auditions for some things, and they just showed up. And even though they weren't right for our lead roles and whatnot, they were more than happy to come and be the little search party. And just the different characters we got for that was awesome. But one cool story with the uniforms, when we were doing the first Dead Woman's Hollow, we were going to budget $50 to buy one legitimate brown sheriff's uniform shirt. And we went to this local uniform shop not too far from here, and just out of the blue, they were closing down, and every item in there was $2 and $3. So we got just as much as we could, actual police jackets that are $300 retail.
All of your
doctors, lab coats.
All these uniforms.
All of these.
They're we got $2 pair of pants, $2 shirts, and luckily we got sizes where most of our cast members either got a shirt or a pair of pants, or.
So for probably $25, we just got a whole wardrobe of police, and
we also got some medic stuff too, that we've never used, and nurse stuff.
I love this shot.
I think people. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just saying that I think people appreciate hearing what goes into the making of a film, because in an independent film without a huge budget, you have to use a lot of creativity, imagination, and personal skills to negotiate with people to make it happen the way you want it to happen.
Yeah,
I'm just in awe of that.
Funny story about shooting on Emily's parents' land is that her father caught us without him really knowing yet that we were out there. We have a kid on the ground with an effect, crime scene tape, blood, just people in uniforms everywhere. And he's like, what is going on? And I'm like, who are you? And he's like, I'm the owner of this property. And I was like, oh, you're Emily's dad. So it was fine, but he was really kind of upset.
Nice going, Emily.
He definitely knew. He definitely knew. I told him, I said, I'm not going to be here, but Libby and Matt will be shooting. And he went, okay. And then he comes back from sailing and he goes, you know, I was really scared. And I was like, Dad, I told you.
But just think, if you saw that first, what if you did forget? You know, like that was his first thing was like, what is going on my property? Like there's somebody got murdered. Like I would totally think that somebody got murdered.
Yep, and then of course Matt pops up and he knows Matt.
Yeah, I was like squatted down on the ground. He didn't see me, and then I popped up and I called his name,
like,
and he was like, "Oh,
oh, Jim left. This is a scene."
Well, he said, "I love this scene," and he left.
Oh no.
Well, we do love this scene.
Maybe he's going to get something from
I love this
She
shot.
got too excited.
Maybe he's got donuts."
Donuts.
Do you have the donuts?
He had to go
in the
get a piece of
freezer?
cake.
Bring one
So
from the front.
the donuts kind of carry over from Dead Woman's Hollow.
Did you get a donut, Jim?
Oh man, I love those donuts. You know, when you're on set, sometimes it's a little bit of time between meals. You can always appreciate a donut.
Look at that beautiful shot. I love that. I love this moment. The music, everything.
Floating afro.
I'd still eat that donut.
John, I love your script.
Thank you.
I definitely would not get in this water. Like towards the edge, it's probably about 5 feet deep, but then it just drops to like hundreds of feet deep. And he got in there. I don't think you're supposed to get in to like swim or anything. But.
And Jim, I just love you and Troy together. You two together, I just take big deep breaths. I just love.
Was that still the reservoir?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wondered why when I went to Perkins the next morning, my cup of tea tasted like Afro.
Yeah. Get a little Jerry curl juice in there.
Okay, that made me gag.
No, wait a minute. In one of the movies, it was Soul Glow.
Yeah, Soul Glow. There you go. Yep. I should have said this earlier when Troy is this ranger in the back here. Little cool things about him is he is the creator of the turkey puppet in the Thanksgiving franchise.
Oh, cool.
And just like 2 years ago, there was a movie called The Headhunter, which is a really cool movie.
Yeah.
He created the main creature in that movie. Yeah. So.
His wife is Sarah in Dead Woman's Hollow, and so he worked with us since 2010 on effects and just being there all the time. And he was Wally, you know, in Dead Woman's Hollow, carried over into this much bigger part in this.
The concern on Libby's face in that scene.
Yeah. Seeing someone with their face chewed off.
It's funny. It makes me hungry for pizza.
Or cream corn. We use cream corn for the vomit.
Ravioli and cream corn.
Oh man. Now I'm not hungry at all.
Oh, if you had a donut, you would be.
Well, okay, well that, yeah. I was just going to say, back at that boat scene, before he got in the water, there was a snake that went right off of the shore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just about where he was going to be coming in. So
Yeah.
we're all keeping an eye out for that one too.
Wow.
So this scene, we had actually had the entire movie edited and everything, and we came up with this idea, and it kind of helped move the story along. You'll see a little bit later, because Jim breaks down this whole story and we didn't have any visuals for it.
I just wanted to see those three guys together, like in the middle of the day too, like during the investigation. I'm like, I just want to see them.
So we came up with this and went and shot it and inserted it in, and we feel like it definitely helped the story for people to realize, because just to hear the dialogue that Jim's saying without actually seeing anything, yeah, you can follow it, but you know, this just made it so much better.
I don't know. Where'd you get the funding for John Deere equipment?
Well, luckily,
our friend, man.
one of my best friends who's playing the coroner, him and his father-in-law own a bunch of wooded land, and they have these vehicles and stuff.
This was definitely, I felt like a rock star this day with you, Jim, for sure, because I'm like, oh, Jim's going to think I'm like legit filmmaker here. I've got a John Deere thing to drive him around. I've got bathrooms, a trailer. I'm like, we are going to pick you up and we are going to make this.
I'm so glad you did. That was kind of rocky running around on that mountain road.
You boys gonna give us a hand?
But it was a great day. It was a great day.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't? I just love to go to the mountains. I hope that I'm making people's dreams come true, like all the time. So, like, I'm just like, who doesn't want this experience, you know? Like, let's go to the top of a mountain together. Come on.
Which we actually have done.
Yes. Most of the people here with me have.
And
if you ever come around me, you know, I'm like, let's go to the top of a mountain.
I thought you were taking me up here to throw me off the cliff.
You got to watch me.
That's the third installment.
Yeah.
I like the little touches of humor throughout too, including in this scene. It just, you know, lifts it, gives you a break, helps you keep moving forward with it.
That really made it. I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
cool place.
yeah. So this is an actual shelter on the Appalachian Trail. This was one of the oldest shelters that they had, and they actually removed it. And I know they moved it somewhere else in the county, but it's just like right off the road, and there's a parking lot and everything for this park, so people would go there and party, and they were just trying to prevent all that from happening. One crazy thing, we used the same shelter in Dead Woman's Hollow, because this is all supposed to kind of take place in the same area. And we went there, and it was just graffitied all over. So we bought a bunch of white spray paint and just spray painted.
We had to shoot in it in like 2 hours.
Probably not legal to do.
Right. So this VW van is worth a small fortune.
Yes.
Yes.
A friend of ours, Jason Kaufman, has been a VW collector and mechanic restorer for as long as I've known him, which is since high school days. And he had this is basically a shell, and he just towed it up to this cabin that his family owns. Yeah, so
He helped us with the location also with the cabin at the end, Jim. That was his cabin.
and he also provided the Volkswagen in the opening scene.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also did the drone shots that I was talking about earlier. that I ended up cutting out. We did drone shots with that VW, but it just didn't fit. Boom. She's gone.
So, you know, we didn't try to like, mainly for budget and time, you know, our kills, we kind of left to your imagination. Not that that was a kill, but we just tried to be more creative with it than just showing a straight up someone's head getting blown up with a bullet or anything.
That
So
whole
now this-
Jaws theory.
Yeah. Now this is the scene where Jim tells the story of the things we just saw with the little John Deere and stuff.
Somebody might have been living in it.
Either be dusty prints.
You know, and I think coming up with that idea actually came from watching us edit this scene, because I know it was over the summer. I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. I'm like, I want to see those guys do that.
You only mentioned the bad. Wait, how did you come up with the name?
I'm afraid we got some bad news. It was bad. We headed back this way with Jack in tow from across the body. Another shooting. Bradley, not.
I guess I know you had to.
Drop out.
But Jack there to bag up this Bradley, and Wally and I decided to recon the immediate area. That's when we came across this VW bus.
So, John, what do you think when you see your words?
So out jumps this girl. But unbeknownst to me, she's got this fucking screwdriver in
Um,
Yeah.
She stabbed him.
I mean, it always makes me happy to make you happy. Like, that's basically like, does John, like, and nobody else gets to see anything before you say, I like it.
no, really, it's just kind of surreal, I think, when you're not maybe behind the camera, you know, or directing or producing, and you just kind of stand back and let you guys do what you do. It's kind of surreal, but it's satisfying at the same time.
Radio the paramedics.
We had made 3 other movies prior to Dead Woman's Hollow and this that John also wrote, and he directed those 3, and he pretty much edited those as well. With these, I don't think did we let you see the movie before the premiere? I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw a rough cut of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Shot and murdered.
I know Dead Woman's Hollow, though. I don't think I sent you a rough cut. I think the premiere was the first time you saw it.
No, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw a little bit of it when you did the sound test with Kevin. The morning of the screening.
Yeah.
I was nervous that you weren't going to like it, because I remember after Dead Woman's Hollow, I was like, we can kill it now. If you want us to kill it, we can kill it now. And you were like, no, I love it.
Well, I think part of what makes it surreal too is that I think it was written in 2013.
Yeah,
So-
Darkness Waits. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like watching a new movie, because I didn't like go back over the script or anything like that. You
Yeah.
remember stuff, you know, after the fact. So
Yeah, we had higher expectations budget wise, and he actually wrote the script
With a budget.
with a higher budget in mind, and we sat on it for like 2 years, and finally we were just like,
Let's just try.
we just need to try and make this movie, and we got it made, so it worked out.
Hell yeah, it did.
What we're looking for?
One thing with the score, the music, is the composer, Kevin Yost, with Darkness Waits, he actually came over to our place and scored it with us there, which was really cool. With Dead Woman's Hollow, we kind of just gave him the final movie, and we were just like, you know, do what you think you feel. And I think we had him do a couple changes then. And then after the premiere of that one, he actually rescored it because he saw it and he's like, I want to do some different stuff, and which turned out better. But this was kind of cool because just over a few days, he came over and we could actually just sit there and feed him ideas, and he would try it and we'd be like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So that was new for us to actually work with our composer directly in the room together, which was really cool.
That's really cool.
I love that shot. Again, Dave Mackley.
Yeah, our friend Dave, who plays the coroner in the movie, he is actually the president of the one ambulance squad here, on their board of directors or whatever it is, and he is responsible for getting us these ambulances and the ambulance we had in Dead Woman's Hollow as well, same company. And again, this was all connections and just asking, and people more than willing to help you.
But I do get a lot of no's. And I do take things, it's hard to get through some things. No doubt about it. I envision things much differently sometimes, and then what we end up with is completely different. And you will I have got tons of no's, but I have friends that have just pulled some stuff through.
Dwight in the first.
And I think also even watching John and Matt make other movies too, I got to see them just make it happen, and it made me have the confidence that I could do it too. And then they also gave me confidence by making me feel like I could do it. So by supporting me all the way through it.
So I just saw a couple questions here. Gonzo Jones. He asks, no filming those drone shots. You are Part 107 certified and have your quad registered, correct? Yes. We do have a Part 107, and we're certified and licensed to fly drones commercially. Now, technically, no one was paying me to take those shots. So, but yeah, I was still registered.
Loophole.
And he also said, Yost is a killer DJ. You're right. A cool thing about Kevin Yost is he only DJs the music that he creates, and he's played all around the world. Yeah. I'm just checking out some of these.
Can you discuss this one? Or is that out of the...
What was the final budget?
Well, we didn't really, the final budget, we didn't really ever keep track, but it's safe to say that it was definitely under $10,000 and very well could have been around the world. Yeah. It could have been less than that. Now, yeah. I'm just checking out some of these. Yeah, I don't mind telling, that we hardly had any money.
A lot of people did stuff because it was their dream and they wanted to be a part of it or support us. And we did have to purchase some things, but for the most part, people know. I think if they know us, they know that we are, we're all just putting this together.
But I would say most of the budget, besides because I had bought some new gear and stuff, and I include that into a budget of a film. But as far as the filming and stuff, most of the budget came down to food for everybody and some travel costs for people and some hotel costs for people. I will say that none of our locations asked us to pay them any money. It was definitely low budget.
That's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
I had a friend, Dan Miller, who's in this movie, and when I initially started to make Dead Woman's Hollow, I remember thinking I needed $1,000. If I had $1,000, I could make a movie. And 2 weekends, I needed 2 weekends with my friends. It ended up taking 3 years, and whatever we could put in it at the time, where we were with getting what we needed, and trying to make a living on top of that as well. So I'm not the best of keeping track of everything either. So especially when you're just trying, some of us work like 60, 70 hours a week sometimes. So it's like just trying to make a living, and then you're doing this on the side too, trying to squeeze this in on your shoots. So
yeah, one reason this movie took so long was we were mainly filming on weekends. We had casting issues. We had people cast that then when we started to film, they could no longer do it. We had weather issues. If in our area, if it snows, because the movie is basically it's a summer, kind of summer, maybe spring. But if it snows here, the mountains keep the snow for weeks, and we couldn't show any snow. So yeah, it was just all over the board of why we took so long.
Yeah.
And then just the editing took a while. I did wait until we had pretty much everything shot to even start editing.
we have to work seasons too. So it's like you get one job done, and then you kind of spin back into this, and you get this going for a while, and then you spin back into another project. You get that moving and rolling.
Yeah.
Want to win, you gotta make sure you can do what the other guy wants.
And Charles Dawson here, he's a great actor. He actually, I believe, holds a master's in theater.
Wow.
And a weird connection with him is he is originally from Anderson, Indiana, where John lives and where we filmed some of our earlier movies. And he actually, when we did a premiere of an older movie locally, he read in the paper about the whole Anderson connection, and he came, and that's how we met him. So it was like a weird, someone in Pennsylvania that is from that area. Like it just, I don't know.
That's
stuff
really cool.
Yeah, stuff like that just happens.
Very
I remember he was like, if you ever need anybody.
I don't know what happened to Emily. Where she got to.
She hasn't popped back up yet.
This was that cabin that Jason Kaufman let us use.
Couldn't you radio someone?
Before anybody had a drone, Matt used to have to go up in helicopters.
Great.
Yeah.
He's not scared. Put a camera in his hands.
Yeah, it's crazy. I did a movie we did in 2007 or 9.
Yeah, 2009.
Mountain man.
Yeah, I actually went first and only time I've been in a helicopter just to get some shots of a van going down the road. And I mean, what's crazy is I won't disclose how much that cost, but you could easily buy a drone, if not some of the drones, if not 2 of them. And like it was funny because the guy only took me up for like 10 minutes or something. And he actually had to basically train me how to fly. He was like, this is part of the whole thing. If for you to take a ride with me, I got to go over what these controls and stuff do with you. But he was like, you can just do your filming, but I'm going to be telling you like what all this stuff does. But it was awesome. It was like one of those, I feel like they're from like the 70s, like the glass bubble front helicopters.
Like the Magnum PI one?
Oh, yeah.
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 It was.
Jim,
it was
you
cool.
should know what kind of helicopter that is. What? Aren't you an expert on helicopters? I tried to be funny like David.
So I just got caught up in a movie here. Wow.
Oh, and I love how this on the side of Jen's head that's going to say "shit happens."
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we didn't do
Look at
any,
that.
yeah. We didn't do anything to this cabin either. It's just how it was. It was like perfect.
That have to do with the fact that you hijacked this girl's ambulance. I'm a method actor. Had him tie up their end. I didn't know how else to.
I didn't. I mean, I might get it. Don't get it.
Have been compromised.
I might get it. Try it out.
Lie to me?
George.
Which is a synonym for lie.
I love to think about the backstory on you guys all together. How this whole thing came. How you guys all get together. How and why.
Skyrim looks like, well.
This was fun. I don't think anybody ever knew what this shootout, that if it was going to, I remember everybody was just like, do you think we got enough? I was like, I think we can make it. I think we can make this happen. Should we go back? I think we got it. I love how it turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was before these are your old knees, Jim.
Yes, yes. Before the doing
We got you.
Jim's.
I love you, Jim. You know I love you.
I'm still 80% original parts.
One thing I would have liked to have gotten here that I never got was a little drip of blood just coming down my face, real slow.
Nope. Although I don't know. Okay, I don't want to test you on this because I'm not sure, but it might still right here. It might still right here on it.
We did used to just grab you and Troy every now and then and hey, will you guys come run around in the mountains with some flashlights?
We had fun working together too. This was great.
I just have to thank you all for trusting me. There's so many times where I don't even know how to explain sometimes to everybody how it's all going to come together. I know sometimes I get in the moment and people are like, you know, I've not seen any other pages. I'm just here for this. And, what's going on here? And, and I give you guys enough and you seem to roll with it. Okay. So I just thank you for trusting me.
It was kind of interesting the way it worked out, not having the entire script. So you're really in the moment.
No, you were talking about like the enchant with the fire. You were talking about the potion. I was like
So this was a local tavern.
no, like that, like fire.
They've since shut down, but the same family had owned it for over 50 years. And I know the owners pretty well, and they she was more than on a Sunday. She came in and opened. She's not normally open. She came in and opened up for us and let us film.
This is a dream come true for me. Working with Scott Schiaffo and David Madison and getting you guys together and having your chemistry, you guys being friends. And David, you doing what you do, just the way you do it. I love it. And I could just put a camera on you guys all the time and just capture it all.
Well, he does have the muscle experience.
Yeah.
Every now and then you just gotta take out the trash.
I'll be honest with you. I was totally honored to work with you guys and the legendary Jim Krut. I was so glad to actually be on screen with him for one scene.
It's beautiful. I love that we have these moments. Like, I really had a great time working with you guys, and you guys really made me feel like, oh, she's making a movie. Like, she's really doing it, you know? Like, you just always make me feel like that. And I'm like, you don't know sometimes. Like, I definitely didn't know it with Dead Woman's Hollow. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to turn out. Like, I'm going to try, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it all together. And it turned out, and I love it. And then this one, I'm like, I'm going to try again. I know I can do something. And just bringing your energy to it. We have all these moments together.
Thank you for the kind comments too, Dave. But you know, watching this, you think of all the moments around it and everything that you don't see on screen, and that it just it always keeps coming back. Just being part of that experience, and the great part was really being able to work with everyone else because of the passion everybody brought into it. You know, the time, you know, not just memorizing lines, but getting to know the other characters and making you know, the personal investments that everybody did. And that's a true gift to be able to do that and to be part of it. In a sense, it's like working in theater on stage when you have to depend on everybody else. You do. It's an alternative.
I do.
Yeah, and the opportunity to be part of this, I'm very happy to be part of it.
Yeah, great. Yeah, thank you for being a part of it.
And I think Scott's terrific in the scene too.
Yeah, definitely. Really I was just going to say, you know, I don't even know, Scott, I don't think we gave you the entire script. I think we just gave you your pages.
Yeah, I only had the mayor stuff, but you're talking about Libby's attention to detail and how much she's internalized it. We had some sessions together where I had a bunch of questions, and she really helped fill in the layers for me a lot, because the mayor's got a lot of mouthful of stuff to say, and I just wanted to be sure I understood all the story around it, because he kind of bookends the movie.
Yeah.
Bears in the beginning.
Opens it and closes it. Yeah.
Yeah. But you did a phenomenal job. I just was very happy to just trust your judgment.
And he has not cut his hair since this scene.
That's right.
Absolutely no motive for last year's killings.
Very envious of the Schiaffo eyebrow raising.
That's many years. It's still an adler in that eyebrow.
Did you talk to Jack? So you read the report?
Just spit it out, Buck. We both be on the same page out there. So we're not public spectacles.
So you saw that Travis had no tongue?
No, that's the reason for the falling out with the girl.
So just as an example, like, I think in the script, this scene was set to take place just in like a corner booth, but we didn't really have access to a corner booth. But we did have this is still the same tavern. This is just their, like, where they had their deep freezes and storage, and I think it like added to it. I just like
I love the concept of David bringing them to a back room. Like, I love that in a private club.
Get past all four fire.
Yeah, that says something.
What kind of mayor is this? South Central Pennsylvania time.
Well, it makes sense because like the clubs like the Eagles Club, Elks Club are really popular around here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I feel like this kind of stuff would probably go down.
All right. Note to self: don't go to the Moose Lounge.
Yeah, don't go to the Moose.
We were told that by the borough manager from watching the scene with you two in the
Borough Hall.
In the borough hall, yeah, that it was very realistic to a real meeting.
But the difference between wild speculations.
Did the borough council and the police have a chance to watch, and did you get any reactions from them?
The borough manager, I think I can't remember, but I think we invited him to the premiere, but he didn't come. And I haven't reached out and asked him if he's watched it on Amazon yet or anything. The police, no. Not that I know of. There might be some cops here that have seen it, but no one has said anything to me.
Families haven't suffered enough. Days become weary. And for what? The big bad wolf isn't going anywhere. That's a fact.
That is a fact.
What you can change that. He's been there from the beginning. And no matter what you do,
You smell the walk down.
big bad wolf's always gonna be there, but you have to wrap your head around that.
And then once you do after.
Won't hurt them. That's the way it's always been, Buck.
Well, no. So once you smelt it down, you get an ancient scrap. And once you get.
And Scott was nominated for Best Actor in one of the
Independent horror.
Independent Horror Film Fest. We were just in.
It was in Chicago.
Well deserved too. Terrific.
Keep going.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Is it your turn to beat it?
I think it's a lot of pressure to have on your character. Like basically, when I hear you speak, that is basically the message that I want
Turn your back
the
on.
audience to get.
You hear that? You're finished. You know what your problem is, Mayor? You still think there's such a thing as innocent people.
Bro, you know what you're wrong. Or, oh, that actually is sick. Why didn't they do that? Okay, so you know in like the Soul Sand waste, how they have blue fire? Blue lava. No, that would have been wrong. Which I have heard. Well, no, wait. No, okay, never mind. I thought he stole my bucket. I was gonna say I'm gonna kill him, but I was like, oh yeah, he did.
I was so nervous to show this in a theater with all you guys, and I'll never forget at this moment, like when this movie ends, David Madison turns around and reaches and grabs my hand and holds my hand for a second, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I did do it. I did do it.
Great job, everybody. Great
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Thanks.
Awesome.
There is a small scene at the end of the credits that kind of.
So what are you saying? You don't want me to?
Yeah, don't stop it. All these people matter.
Read the
Read
credit.
every name.
Hey, we're the only ones that
Yes.
probably sit through credits in the theater.
Yeah, we sit through every credit. Lights out. It takes every one of these people to make it happen. It doesn't matter how big, how small.
So,
It could just be one thank you that they.
who is this lady?
That's my sister-in-law.
That's
His
my
sister.
sister.
And she helps us She helps us on everything.
And
She gives us anything we need.
she's actually the one who gives Scott the drink when he walks into the bar.
Big supporter, like just always right there next to us.
Oh, and I would like to mention Larry Selman. He did our cover art, which is an actual painting. For many years, he was an artist for Hasbro, and his biggest thing was he did the whole line of the newer 12-inch GI Joes that came out back in like the late 90s or so. That they tried to revamp the 12-inch, and he pretty much did all of the box art for that. He did a bunch of other Hasbro toys, and he is just an awesome. His main thing is like military art, but yeah, known him for a long time, and I really wanted a more like 70s style poster art, and I sent him some screen caps, and yeah, man, I thought it turned out awesome.
Whoop, wrong button.
I have to agree. It's a beautiful poster.
Yeah.
Trying to find the hot mic.
It restored my motivation to work out. Hey, but
John has the hot mic.
my boy like quarantine hit my boy hard.
So with that,
There it was.
Yes.
Hip, hip, hooray.
So I'm curious, like when I was a kid, we would actually stand up and clap at the end of a movie, and people don't do that. Did anybody else do that as a kid, or? Okay.
There were
maybe not.
times for certain movies, yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, certain movies.
I think probably after a Quentin Tarantino movie or something.
Actually, I think people applauded at the end of our premiere. I don't know
They
if
absolutely did.
I don't know if they stood, but
That's kind of in shock.
we got an applause.
Yeah, we got.
It's very powerful on a big screen. It's very moving.
Yeah.
Very visual. Very moody.
Yeah, and it was awesome. Like our local theater, which is just right across the street from where we live, they've been there for a really long time. But in the past years, they completely redid the theater and made it modern, and it was just awesome. The manager let us go there and watch it several times, just her and I, just to check it out, and they were really. They really helped us out, but sadly, since COVID and all that, they've been shut down, and the chain that owned it no longer owns it, so it's back in the town's hands. But hopefully, they can get up and running again at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what's going on with theaters and everything now. What theaters local to me are starting to do is they don't have any first run movies. They're renting out the theater to people for like $150, 25 people maximum, and then trying to sell the concessions and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is.
Well, David, you have a production underway now, right?
Who?
You.
You're the only David here.
No, I couldn't hear him. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yeah. We're about today was day 9 of principal photography, and we're shooting. So far, we shot in Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and the last 2 days were in Vermont. So it's absolutely coming out beautifully. It's the very, very first film that I've ever made that I'm getting the perfect atmospheric shots that I want. When you watch this movie, hopefully you'll feel like you're transported to Halloween Day. And I'm very, very blessed to have some very, very amazing people working on it with me. So, but it's not going to be out till next Halloween, sadly.
Yeah, but you got lucky with the colors this year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every frame of this movie, it drips of it being Halloween, and it's I'm shooting it with a special camera, so it's very cinematic looking, and I'm very, very excited about the process. It's something that just literally fell on my lap. I wrote this script about 5 years ago. I always wanted to make. Growing up, I was heavily influenced by the Universal horror films, so I always wanted to make a vampire film, which I did with Mr. Hush, and now I'm getting around to making my first werewolf film, and it's very, very reminiscent of American Werewolf in London. In fact, somebody who was a major part of American Werewolf in London is a major part of this film. And a lot of really, really cool things have fallen into place. It was just literally, I got a call about 15 days ago that somebody who I reached out to possibly back the film decided that it was time to make this movie. And I was like, hey, I'm sitting around with my thumb up my ass. Let's get it done. So we'll be shooting through mid-November. And then I'll have the whole year up until like March when the distributor is going to want it to edit it and get all my everything else put together for it. But really, really excited.
Well, it's kind of a bold thing to do because so many film productions literally are frozen because of the pandemic. And how did you sort of mentally approach that?
It's funny, very funny.
Overcome.
We have a crew down to a minimum. It's myself and my assistant cinematographer and a sound guy. And we're all masked. We're all stay within 6 feet of each other. And we're setting up the camera on sticks and we're putting marks for the talent to hit. And the performances that we're getting, even under these unbelievable circumstances, are just overwhelming. It seems like people are starving to actually get back to work and to, do something artistic. And the reaction I'm getting to the written word that I have on paper from some people who I never thought in a million years would actually work with a hack like me are actually deciding to jump on board. And we're getting this movie done, and it's shocking the shit out of me. Next Monday, I start shooting again with some more of the heavy hitters who are involved in this movie. And the last 8 days, I shot a lot of the filler stuff, but it's very, very, very cinematic looking, and I'm super excited. And I think a bunch of people who are actually involved with Darkness Waits, well, if they are willing to help me out on this movie, I'd love to have them on board too.
Just holler.
Yes.
Yeah. You know how to get in touch with us, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys, we are going to start wrapping it up. And what we like to do is give everybody the opportunity to let us know what's going on in their lives with their projects or where we could find them on social media. John, do you mind if we start with you?
Whoa.
Wow, I think he totally left. Okay.
I thought you did that, Joe.
No, I did not. John just
was like, later.
That's an option? No.
Maybe it was a weird moment where he just really cut out.
Or maybe he's like shy with self-promoting.
He was
the
whole 2 hours and now he's gone.
He does keep to himself. Oh,
okay.
He's not a big social media presence.
Yeah.
But I will say that he is I don't even know how many scripts. He's been shopping a lot of scripts, all different genres, and he's constantly writing. And hopefully at some point we'll be able to
do something with him again.
Make another one. We haven't really discussed any of that here.
We always have in the back of our mind, Dead Woman's Hollow 3. We always, because the story for me, this thing is going to go on. It's been It's been forever. It's always going to be. So it's just a matter of, figuring how to live through it. Wherever you are in time. So
Jim, are you shy?
Yeah, I'm terribly shy.
Jim, do you have anything you're working on or that you can share with us, or social media?
Well, I just noticed somebody posted a question why I did Dawn of the Dead back in 1978 and then didn't act again until 2006. Well, actually, I've done a lot of stage acting, and around 2000, we started a theater company in Gettysburg. Did that for about 6 or 7 years, Gettysburg Stage. And since that time, around 2000, I've probably done about 25 films and a lot of theater productions. But last year, I also did a dozen conventions. And this year, it's 0 because of the challenges people have, either doing conventions or making a film. And that's why, I commend you, David, for the initiative you have and the chances you're taking to make a film in these trying times. But I have to say, in many ways, I'm enjoying the time off because it's an opportunity to work on some other projects in the writing side of things. Plus, I like to grow a few tomatoes and peppers, and spend a little time with the grandkids too. So I'm enjoying it. I don't think there's a bad day. I try to look at every day as one that's a blessing and a gift, and to be able to share any of that time with any of you is just fantastic. It really is. So
well, to be honest with you, Jim. To be honest with you, Jim, I'm not making the movie out of choice. It's out of necessity, seeing that I lost my job at the Wendy's drive-through window, and I desperately need to do something to keep my mind occupied. Well, what's left, what little is left of it.
You're a creative guy. You'll figure something.
So, Jim, do you have any future projects or social media places where people can find you?
Social media, I am on Facebook under Jim Krut, and I do have my website, Hello Zombie, HELIZOMBIE, hellozombie.com, and that's where I used to have where I'm doing appearances, but there haven't been any lately. There's one that was scheduled for Pittsburgh in November, and I've declined that one simply because I think it's a little early and maybe a little risky for me at this point. However, that same convention is also happening in July of 2021, and I'm hoping things will ease up and we'll be able to make more appearances by that point. And there are a couple other scripts that we have under consideration. Somebody has asked me, there's a script about the backstory of the character I actually had in Dawn of the Dead. And that's been in the works for the last couple of years. And so I can't really talk too much about it at this point because the future is uncertain. But I'm trying to keep my eyes open and see what comes next.
That is awesome. Thank you again for joining us this evening. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you on, and hopefully you will be able to speak with you soon.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Bye, Jim.
It's good seeing you.
Yeah, great to see you. Great to hang out.
All right. So, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I got to spend so much time with Dave. I'm going to go with Scott.
I got to go to the can. I got to get rolling. What is this?
Well, Scott, let me set you up. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is happening. That's happening. And then a few days later, oh my God, the election's happening. I'm glad this is happening before the election because I'm really scared. I'm scared. This came out, my CD audio book with an amazing bunch of artwork from Scott Meany. But you hear me talking about this all the time anyway, so.
And we love hearing about it.
You'll hear a lot more about it in the next week or two. I've just worked on another project called Jesus versus Satan, Attack of the Zombies. It's really bizarre, and I'm going to have links up. But They shot a lot of things virtual. I shot my own scenes with my own camera while the director was on FaceTime on the phone. So the director, and I'm on the John. He got the scene. My character's on the hopper. So that was a first and bizarre and really hilarious. And there's some very cool people in that. You know, I'll be working with David. The details of that are forthcoming. And I'm just happy to be anywhere, man. This has been a crazy year.
We love having you on.
It's always fun hanging out with you.
Oh, Scott, social media, Scott. You forgot social media.
Hey, man, ScottSchiaffo.com, yo. I'm all, come on, Scott Schiaffo, Facebook, Scott Schiaffo, Instagram, ScottSchiaffo.com, yo. I'm all over like a bad habit. I'm on you like a cheap suit. I gotta roll. I'm out.
Are we going to see you tomorrow night?
bro.
Wait, are we going to see you tomorrow night?
You'll see me tomorrow night, whether you like it or not.
See you, Scott.
See you, Scott. Thanks.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. So, I mean, we got to go in order. Dave, this is weird for me, but it's not natural. But
This is just another one of his characters.
You know, it's funny, guys. I actually started my call time this morning was 8 o'clock this morning. So I got up at 6, and I'm going on close to 20 consecutive hours being awake. But there's no people in the world that I would rather risk a stroke for than Matt and Libby and Joe Ridgely, of course, and the beautiful Stephanie. It was an honor to actually meet you.
Thank you.
Everybody, you know where to find me. I'll be here talking my usual bullshit tomorrow night at 11 p.m. after George and Joe's wonderful Indie Brigade show. Join me as director Jason Horton comes on. Jason Horton, if you don't know him, he is a fountain of information for independent filmmakers. He's a wonderful guy. Yes, tomorrow night at 11 o'clock. And you never know what crazy celebrity or crazy shit pops up on the end of the night. It's always, I don't even know what the hell's going on half the time. So it's tune in tomorrow night at 11 o'clock after George and Joe do a respectable and beloved show to my train wreck that comes on.
I've never been respectable. Wow. Okay. That's a new one.
How's that feel, Joe?
I don't know.
And everybody out there, if Joe puts up that horrible clown picture of me again, please
take that. That's a
please.
Okay,
Please,
it's a Harlequin.
Please, everybody, pay no attention to that. I actually look kind of pitiful there. Yeah.
I don't know. Dave, it kind of looks like you were on a bender and you're walking the walk of shame.
That's me knocking at celebrities' doors, trying to get them on the end of the night. Please, please. All right, everybody, be well. I'll see you guys.
Thanks, Dave.
My pleasure. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern on the end of the night. Be well, and everybody watch Darkness Waits on Amazon or purchase it at a fine digital retailer. It's a great movie.
Thank you.
See you, Dave. All right, so Matt and Libby.
Yeah.
We're here.
Currently, we don't really have any new film projects in the works. We're still trying to get Darkness Waits out on more platforms. Currently, you can watch Darkness Waits for free on Prime and Dead Woman's Hollow on Prime. And they can both be found for rent or purchase on Vimeo. And once we're in the process, it's taken a long time, but hopefully we get on some more streaming platforms. And you can find me on Instagram, Matt Stahley, all one word. Last name is Stahley. And Libmatic Films, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook will also have Darkness Waits page, Libmatic Films page, and a Dead Woman's Hollow page.
Thank you, Lance.
Thanks, Lance.
Big supporter.
Yeah, thanks for all the support. Like to thank everyone else that's in the brigade that supports, shares our posts. comments.
Yeah.
It's,
Or even just interacts. Thank you for watching this. Thanks for hanging out with us. And
thanks, Stephanie and Joe.
yes.
This was really cool. I'm glad everything worked out, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything worked out.
Yeah.
One way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for doing this,
Well, no, we greatly appreciate it. And, did we do it ass backwards? Did we play part 2? When we should have experimented with part 1 or the first film, and
I think helping us get Darkness Waits out is the main thing. We do keep a small circle, I guess you could say, in real life, and I know that you have you try to have an internet presence and everything as an individual these days, but it is hard to get the word out there, and especially we are just basically 2 people, with some friends. I feel like we don't have a distribution company behind us. We're just trying to do it the best we can from where we are. And, the world has changed so much, even from the first movie to the second movie, where I don't think, I do think there's some ways for independent filmmakers to get their movies on some platforms themselves. We had to do it this time. It was just the choice we had to make for this. So it was great to get distribution on our first movie, and that was huge. Even for me, that was a dream come true, a goal. And just for somebody to say that your movie is watchable and I want to watch it again and I want other people to watch it, that makes somebody feel good inside.
But we learned a lot of stuff from that first distribution deal that, it takes you to go through it to learn it. And, that was some years ago. I feel like it's
really changed.
Easier to self-distribute these days.
It's easier,
in my
I guess,
opinion,
to figure out. I know you've worked very hard on it.
Yeah. So we're just trying to go with it and see where it takes us.
So I'm curious. One last question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys actually have a merch page? Because I know I've got that in the background, and I adore it.
We have somewhat of a merch page where you can get our Blu-rays, Darkness Waits Blu-rays. We aren't really selling the posters. If someone really wants one, find us on Facebook or wherever and send us a message and we'll work something out. But Blu-rays are available of Darkness Waits. This is terrible. Oh, actually, no. If you go to libmaticfilms.com, LIB.
We don't know how to sell the movie. That's where
I can't believe I just said that.
That's where we're going wrong.
No, I lost my train of thought. But libmaticfilms.com, and there you can find the links to purchase the Blu-ray. There's links to the Vimeo stuff. So you can find more information there.
All right. Anything closing that you want to go with before we exit out?
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Sorry I didn't pay attention to a lot of the comments, but
thank you everybody who showed up. I know Sean Smithson's here.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thanks,
Thank
Sean.
you, Lance.
I don't know who Gonzo Jones is.
I'm not sure.
But, thanks, man. He seemed to know stuff about our people in our movie and stuff. So I don't know if it's someone I know personally or thanks, Gonzo, Master of Snark, Lance, Samantha.
Hi, Sam.
My sister,
Very
Susie.
inspiring.
I'm just going through.
It is a great turnout.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could pay attention to all this stuff. Interviews are hard for me. So really just being here in this moment, I just, I really wanted to just be open to the whole experience. And I am just now seeing these comments over here.
So I don't know if you guys, you'll be able to see they're from Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So there's a ton to go through.
So
thank you all.
One question, Joe. Will this be on Twitch and people could still log in and watch the movie? Like an archive?
We're going to learn together and find out.
Oh, okay. No, that's cool.
I honestly don't know. I mean, this is literally the first full-blown one we've done. And when I tested, I literally deleted them because they were tests. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming so.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Hey Joe, how did you find us? Because we have never figured that out. Like all of a sudden, about a year ago, a little more than
I'll
a
put
year
him on
ago.
the spot. This guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's still there.
Oh, yeah,
I believe it.
There's a couple
You
of
never know
people
who this guy knows.
down in the lobby. We're gonna have an after party in a minute.
Okay, cool.
So, guys, good night. Thank you very much for
thank
doing
you.
this.
Thank
This
you.
was
Thank you.
spectacular.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for doing this.
We look forward to whatever you guys have coming in the future. And stand by.
Let's watch it.
Yeah. We'll be speaking to you in a minute or so.
All right, cool.
All right, guys, thank you.
Night.
Yep, see ya.
Stephanie,
So, what do you think?
you ready? Are you ready? Are you
Am I
ready?
ready for what?
Oh,
Hello. Yeah. So thank you for coming out. My social medias are Facebook. I live there. Discord, obviously, I live there as well. Twitch, only when we're live, and I have to be in chat. Instagram, Real Saberhagen, and Twitch, Real Saberhagen. That's me. Follow us on Twitch and YouTube, and like the Facebook page, and subscribe on Twitch, and follow our Discord, and all that stuff. I remembered most of it.
this one we can see if you can ad lib or not.
Oh, what do I need to ad lib? I don't know. Dude,
Oh,
it's
absolutely
like
nothing. I
what?
was
It's
just
1,
curious.
2, 3 in the AM, and my eyes are going.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to be to work in a few hours myself, but
See what I'm saying?
after working a 10-hour day, but
I am
it's all good.
almost finished with this 5th cup of coffee.
Well, you see, when I took a break from there, I saw somebody opening a bottle of Jim Beam in the movie, so I figured I'd, indulge.
Yeah, well, can't time one on yet because we're still alive, so soon
Okay.
enough.
All right, so we're gonna close it out, and you see, I'm not used to doing the closeout. So, are you? Do you know George's closing?
Oh,
I got
don't-
Terry to do it the other night or
I
a
don't
week
know
ago.
George's closing yet. I don't.
What?
Dude, no. Like that's no.
Oh,
That was
all
one
right.
of my list of things that I needed to remember.
Everybody follow us on social media, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Twitch, what the hell else is there?
Discord.
Discord. Yes, definitely Discord.
Yes.
And in the famous words of George C. Romero, fuck off till next time.
To be an indie means we buck a system that doesn't want us. To be a fringe filmmaker means we don't do it for them. We do it for ourselves. To be an outlaw on the fringe means we'll die before we fail.